Here in TDP Search portal, you can see we have two pre-run lists around companion diagnostics. The first search we ran was around diagnostics, diagnoses, and things around those keywords. You can see here we had just under 20,000 startups, and there's some summary statistics below what is highlighted. This brings up a whole nother issue of, okay, well, how can we go through 20,000 companies efficiently? We'll see different use cases in there. And so what we can do is run a second list, as we've done here, around companion diagnostics, precision medicine, and so forth. And what we can do is overlap these lists very easily in our system. And we can find now that there's about 2,700 companies focused on diagnostics and some sort of personalized precision medicine type of approach, instead of having to go through about the 130,000 startups between those two lists. We can see here now we've created this list of 2,700 companies, and now we can start to filter it. So I'm scrolling over here to one of our algorithms, execution, and we're going to rate this list from highest to lowest, 10 being the highest. To the right of that column, you'll also see there's some data here for country, region, and city, so we can further filter down by geography. We can also filter this list down even further. For instance, if we want to see just the companion diagnostics companies first of these 2,700, we can search companion within these results. In the bottom right, you'll see this gets narrowed down to 151 rows of data. This list, after this filter, is still ranked by our execution score. So if we scroll back over to the start of the list, we can see here the names of the companies, and we'll select a handful of them, and we'll pull up their scorecards. And these scorecards are generated in real time, one for each row of data. And you can see here we're looking at things like the name of the company, a high concept about what they do, a link to their URL, and a longer description about the company itself and their technologies. Under summary scores, this gets into TDP's proprietary algorithmic scoring of the data. The two base templates for startups is execution and survivability. Can the startup execute the claim they make, and how survivable are they in the future? These are on a scale of 0 to 10. And we have a library of about 50 different algorithms that we can deploy into these scorecards for various use cases, for things like acquisitions, licensing, partnerships, investment, and so forth. This process is followed for each of the data types as well, whether it be patents, research papers, etc. You'll also see that there's boxes here that we can check to create a short list of companies on target, or we can also select them and use an AI search from the descriptions of these companies. And what it's doing is it's going across the text of all those companies that are selected, and it's going to pull up the most similar companies to what we chose. And this really helps enable TDP to be able to find the long tail of companies in a particular space. We do also have a second option for using the AI in search capacities. And if we click this button here on the left in a moment, it's called Description Search AI. And in this search functionality, what we can do is plug in any open text that we want. It could be, a description of a company. It could be, I am looking for a startup in space XYZ. And then from there, we can set the parameters of how many startups we want to recall from that search. And then hit go, and it will give us the most associated to the text that we put in. And then at the top 200 results, as you see here, and these are going to be, again, based off of the companies that we selected with the checkboxes in our system.